what we need to be thinking about before we get into the vehicle is we need to be practicing at least our basic awareness. The same rules apply. It doesn't matter where we are, right? The main rules are heightened state of awareness, right? Being awake, watching your surroundings as you go at all times. The same applies to getting into a vehicle, like getting into a taxi, right? And here's the problem, especially when people are in a rush. They'll order a taxi or hail a taxi and they're always bloody distracted, right? You'll get people, they're on their phone, is it the right one? Have I got my keys? Is my bag here? And they're totally switched off. Another problem you get with that is people don't check the vehicle when they're getting in, right? So here's a few things, a few pointers. First thing is, as you're approaching the vehicle, is it the right vehicle? Okay, you've ordered a taxi, make sure it's the one that you bloody ordered, right? The vehicle turns up, and this happens sometimes, we make mistakes, right? Vehicle turns up and you go, oh hey, is it my Uber? Oh yeah. What's your name? Jamie. Yeah, it's you. See? So be smart, make sure that you're absolutely sure that it is the vehicle that you ordered, right? Other things to consider, don't get in the passenger seat, okay? If you're getting into the passenger seat, you're sitting right next to the driver, and to a degree, you're at the driver's mercy, right? They are right next to you. If you're gonna position yourself in a good place, it's here. Get in the back and get behind the driver, all right? Arguably, you could get in the middle. I don't agree with that personally. I think that you have to reach over to get to the doors. You are still kind of exposed to the driver. They can still turn and make contact with you, right? Plus the middle seat tends to be pretty unstable. You don't have any kind of lumbar support or whatever. So if they're driving quick, you may get thrown around a little bit. So sitting behind the driver is a good idea. As you're getting into the vehicle, like I mentioned a minute ago, have all your stuff in order, right? You need to know where are your belongings at all times. You know, it shouldn't be a mystery, or where's my keys, or where's my phone. You should know my phone is in here, my keys are here, or wherever. The bag is here, the bag is cross-strapped, it's not hanging off the shoulder, it's not wide open. Be prepared before you get into the vehicle, right? So you can act quickly if you need to. Before you get into the vehicle, take a second and recce the vehicle. In other words, check the vehicle a little bit and make sure, is this a vehicle I want to get inside of? Okay, so a few things you want to look out for. Excuse me. First, do they have an ID showing, right? Do they have their license there or some kind of identification there? If they don't get in the vehicle, okay? If they're a proper driver, whether it's a private driver, a taxi firm or whatever, they must have a certain type of identification on show. They've got to be able to prove themselves somehow. If you get in, it looks shifty, don't do it, okay?
Except for...
Check if it's the same person, thank you. A perfect one. If it's Uber, sometimes they don't show something, but they should have the vehicle license plate, and a photograph. If any one of those things don't match, don't get in the vehicle, okay? Don't worry about hurting this person's feelings, yeah? Sorry for hurting your feelings, mate. I want to stay alive, yeah? You're the priority, not someone else's feelings, okay? Doesn't mean you have to be rude, just, you know, don't worry about it too much. Other things you want to check out for, the general condition of the vehicle, right? Things like, can I access the door handles and the door locks? Sometimes you get these vehicles that will have the old style locks at the side of the door here, and sometimes those buggers aren't there anymore, yeah? If they're not there, don't get in the vehicle, right? It ain't worth it. There's nothing, well, apart from really severe circumstances, there's no good excuse to compromise your safety just for the sake of getting somewhere on time. Be late, be inconvenienced, stay safe, right? The same applies for these. It's rare, but these may not be in there either, these door locks, right? Some of them, they should have something. Some of them you just don't have access to a door lock whatsoever. I would say if there isn't a door lock present anywhere at all, don't get in the vehicle, right? Other things as well. Is there anyone else in the vehicle? Does the driver have a friend with them? If they do, don't get in the vehicle, okay? Don't share the taxi with other people. Oh, this person's going the same way as you. Is that all right? No, it ain't all right. Don't get in the vehicle, yeah? Unless you know them, of course. But if you don't know them, don't. You don't know who they are. The driver might not be the threat. The passenger might be the threat. Or they might both be the threat. We don't know, right? So, a few things to bear in mind. Have all your stuff ready. As you're approaching the vehicle, make sure you're comfortable with the vehicle you're getting into. Confirm it's the right one. Any doubt, any suspicion whatsoever, any kind of gut feeling that something doesn't feel right, trust it, okay? Don't talk your way out of it in your head. Trust your gut feeling. It ain't worth the risk, right? Okay, cool. So, all checks have been made. we feel comfortable to get in the vehicle, in we get. So, sit down. Right, the next thing I'm looking for is my safety, obviously. Getting in. Right, now what I'm going to do, before I close the door, I'll get my phone and I'm going to take a photograph of the person's ID, okay? And I'm going to let him know what I'm doing. I want it to be obvious. Don't be shy about it, or I don't want to embarrass him and make him feel bad. I'll just take a picture. No, you need to let him know what you're doing, right? So you're getting in the vehicle, say, excuse me, I'm just going to take a picture of your ID and send it to my friends waiting for me. Yeah? Make it clear, not my friend or whatever. Lie, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's waiting for you. You don't have to be too specific. Just enough to let them know that this is what I'm doing and I'm tracking what's going on, right? So, oh, my friends are expecting me. I'm just going to take a picture of your ID and send it to them so they know, you know, just for my safety, they know that you're coming. If they've got a problem with that, don't get in the vehicle. Hence why you don't close the door first, yeah? Keep it open so you've got an escape route. You can have one foot out the door if you need to. Just going to take a photograph. Is that all right with you? 9 times out of 10, the driver's going to go, yeah, of course, no problem at all. Then send it to someone, okay? Have somebody that you can send it to. Have an emergency contact on standby at all times, just in case. If it's the person you're meeting, then it's that person. If it's a trusted person, a trusted friend or colleague or whatever, then assign that person as your kind of your go-to safety person, yeah? Let them know in advance. Hey, when I get in a taxi, I might send you pictures of IDs from time to time. Sorry about that, I just want to be safe, you know. And if anything kicks off, do you mind if I call you for help? Let them know in advance, not while you're in the car already driving, yeah? Have your backup plan ready, have an escape plan ready. With that in mind, also, you should have emergency services on standby as well. Know what your emergency service numbers are, yeah? Your rapid response, police, whatever it is, have it ready. So if you're in the car, you're locked in and you're feeling nervous, and maybe the contact that you've assigned isn't picking up their phone or whatever, you've got someone on speed dial, right? An emergency service. It's also worth sticking your location on as well. Telling people that, hey, I'm going somewhere. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, or where you are, or how safe the area is perceived to be, whether it's the starting point, the transit, or the destination. You need to let people know that you're going somewhere. Why not? As long as you prepare in advance and you organize it, it's no big deal. But it'll make all the difference in the world if something kicks off, right? Cool. So, take a picture of that ID, sit down, and just observe your surroundings a little bit. Ask yourself the question, if I have to exit the vehicle, how can I do it? Where do I go? So, in a vehicle like this, your exit points are obviously the door. Here, right? You've got the lock. You need to make sure that you can open this lock. Like I said at the beginning, if the lock isn't right, don't get in the vehicle. So the case is, if I'm in the car and I'm feeling uncomfortable, I've got my hand here on the door. I know I can open it if I need to, without even looking. Do this before you set off, right? You don't want to be in a position where things kick off and panic sets in and you're like, where is everything? Oh shit, right? Because when you're panicked and you're afraid, you're not going to be thinking clearly. And as we know already, same with the fight or flight response, tunnel vision, gross motor skills are going to kick in, fine motor skills are going to go out. You're going to be fumbling, you're going to be nervous, okay? Quite possibly. So make sure you know, where's the belt clip, right? Have it at your hand ready. Where's the door handle? Where's the lock? Can I get out? If there's no lock back here, can you access the lock here, right? That's the next question. They will have some kind of locking station on their door there if there's nothing around here. There should be something around here, but you never know. Can you access it? If you feel uncomfortable, don't continue, right? Simple as that. Now, let's say we're talking about the person kind of getting a bit touchy-feely and grabby and stuff like that. I'm going to record a different video for that because we've just gone through it, so I don't want to waste time going over it again. But what we've already established, let me get out the car, mate. What we've already established is the fence rules apply no matter where you are, no matter what's going on. It's bloody hot in that car, Jesus. Downside of having a black car in a hot country. The fence rule applies, whether it's verbally or physically. You don't let anybody encroach your fence more than twice, or if you feel better about it, more than once, right? 3 times is the unlucky number in this case. So, if you're in a vehicle and the person's talking to you in a certain manner that you don't approve of, you don't like it, right? Maybe it's a flirtatious manner or whatever. There's no harm with you being polite, but confident, you know, have conviction in what you're saying, and ask the driver, with all due respect, I'm not comfortable with this conversation. Do you mind if we stop? I'd prefer that we didn't talk about this, right? It's direct, it's polite, but you're giving him a verbal cue, like, stop please. That is very much about breaking a fence or establishing your fence. It's establishing a boundary, right? Now, if that person continues to break that boundary by continuing with the conversation, or like the video that we saw, the guy touching the girl's leg, he didn't grab her, he was like stroking her leg, but it was bloody uncomfortable and she didn't want it. She told him, what, 6 times maybe, at least? Stop it, stop it, stop it. Unfortunately, it kept escalating. You don't want to have that escalation. You want to cut it out quickly, right? If it's getting to the point where the person's, you know, choice of words or the way they're moving or looking at you is uncomfortable, exit the vehicle. Ask them / tell them, pull over, the journey's done, stop the car, I'm getting out. Not, please could you maybe do this, maybe please. Nah, tell them what to do, okay? Be polite about it, don't be a dick. Motherfucker, fucking do fucking this. Don't do all that bollocks, because you might be the one that escalates the situation, right? But be confident about it. Stop the vehicle, pull over, I'm getting out, thank you. No, but no, I'm getting out the vehicle, pull over now please. Right here, this is fine, pull over. Pull over, stop the car. Just don't engage, right? If it's done, it's done. Get out the vehicle, right? Cool. Now, things you need to watch out for, certain cues that you need to escape. If their emotions are getting escalated, to use the video as an example, which I'll post in this video that we're recording, things like, I'm getting angry now, that's a big red flag, yeah? You don't want to be continuing with this journey much longer, right? You want to end it there, in my opinion. Or the worst one, as the guy said in the video, is something along the lines of, this car is going to fucking go wherever I want it to go. Get out, okay? You cannot stay in the vehicle at that point. Yes, mate?
How do you get out?
How do we get out? I'll get there, don't worry. Yeah, it's coming, it's coming. Building up to it. So get the hell out of the vehicle, right? Again, tell the bastard to pull over. Do as you're told. A teacher talking to a student. That kind of presence, yeah? That kind of way of speaking. How do you get out of the vehicle? Good question. Right, first thing. You should already know how to escape the vehicle, okay? We've already talked about your escape routes, right? How to get out them. First thing, if you're in the vehicle, right, and it's moving along, and you don't want to jump out of a moving vehicle, get attention. Draw attention to you. They don't want attention, right? So one way of doing it is to get that fucking door open, right? Help! Get me out! He won't let me out! Get me out of here! Get some fucking attention. Shout nice and loud. Help! Right? Sorry, everybody. Right? Get attention. Excuse me. Get the door open. Who cares if the fucking door bounces off another car or a wall or something? Doesn't matter. You're in danger. You need to get out. Yeah? Get that door open. Say the door doesn't open. You can't get it open. Does the window open? Right? If the window opens, same rules apply. Get out. Bang the car. Make noise. Okay? Get people's attention. He doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want to be seen to be doing bad shit to you. Right? Nothing is certain, but likelihood is that he's probably going to let you out the vehicle. He's going to pull over. Or he's going to take action to continue and try and take you somewhere else. In which case, okay, your questions have been answered. Am I A, exiting because he's letting me out? Or B, am I in a position where I have to force my way out, fight my way out? Okay? Let me give you a couple tips how to get through a window. If the window is open just a hair, it loses a lot of its structural integrity. It gets weaker. What you may find is hooking on the window and leaning on it, yanking on it, would probably shatter it, okay? These windows are designed that you can get out of. They're strong, but you can get out of them, okay? If you can't get out, you've got a couple options available to you. One, you can try and use the seatbelt, okay? Now, bear in mind that seatbelts have locking mechanisms, okay? So you can't be panicking trying to get the seatbelt. Smooth, buckle, window, okay? Get a damn good grip on this thing in your hand any way you can and go for it. If that's not available to you, this is, okay? This is designed for purpose, and the purpose is to break windows if you're stuck. Get a good grip, give it everything you've got, okay? You're gonna hold it, get some pressure behind it, get some leverage, get your feet on the ground, nice wide base, and give it everything you've got. As many times as it takes to break the goddamn window. May I also add, this is also a nice tool to use on the driver if you need to, okay? The head is there. They are really delicate around here, as we're aware. Mastoid bone, the kind of the brain stem is around this area. These are danger points, right? But you've got that option available to you, right? Hook and control, there's another option available to you, okay? Try and get out the vehicle is the point. Right. Other things you can do. Say you can't break the window for whatever reason. I'm cooking. Say you can't break the window for whatever reason. You can't get out the door for whatever reason. Then disrupt this bastard, okay? You are in a beautiful position to take control. Now what you have to bear in mind is, if you're going at speed and you're manipulating the driver, you got to be prepared to crash, okay? Unfortunately, so be it. I'd rather have a car accident than get raped, murdered, or whatever else. So, belt. Go to work, right? You can use this as a threatening manner, where you literally let me the fuck out, okay? Putting the pressure on his windpipe and pulling him in with everything you've got, so he can still drive, but you've got him, right? Right here. You can hook an arm if you want to, all right? So he's got one arm on the wheel, he can still see where he's going. You've hooked one arm and you pulled it behind the seat and you've got him pinned. You've got to be fast, ballistic, hyper aggressive. Give it everything you've got, make it happen, okay? Trust me, he's gonna panic a bit when his windpipe is closed, right? When he's got this pressure around his neck and he can't move, and you're threatening to break his fucking neck, or snap his arm, or kill the bastard. Put the fear into him, right? Be decisive, be aggressive. Don't be like, I warned you, don't do this again. No, it ain't gonna work, right? Probably not. Instead of it's like, you fucking stop the vehicle, you can't! He'll stop, most likely. Sorry. They're used to it by now, I think. So, sorry, I was loud. But you get the point, right? Be ballsy. You've got to give it everything you've got. You've got to take control of the situation as best as possible. If you can't, if it's not going anywhere, if the person's decided to attack you, they're trying to grab you, etc., right? You've got a couple options there. Can I get someone sitting in the front seat, please? You won't get hurt, I promise, but I need to... Oh, look at you, not stepping forward. Anybody? Steve, good man. Jump in, please, mate. I want to show you a couple things, guys. All right, Steve. So, shut the door. Leave it open, please, mate, so they can see. So, if you see here, I've got great access to the driver, okay? Now, let's say Steve is doing the whole pervert thing and he's trying to touch my leg. It might be that I could de-escalate before it kicks off to a full fight, yeah? So, Steve, I'd like you to touch my leg, please, sir. Now, look. See, can you all see? Yep.
Let
so
me.
He's got contact with my leg.
Jamie, I go to the other side.
Okay. Sure. Oh, it's got a child lock. You have to open it if you want to open the door, mate. Okay, so Steve's got my leg, right? Now, actually, in this example, I'm in an advantageous position, not him. Okay. It's not hard for me to take control of this arm, right? It's not hard for me to break his shoulder, and I'd be willing to do it if I felt threatened. Okay, if it was a stroke, if you just like grab my leg in any which way, I can grab a finger and take control of him that way. I'm like, right, listen, if you continue as you're going, I'm gonna fucking break this, okay? And if he does continue as he's going, I will break it, you see? That's a good control method right there, but be decisive and grab it, okay? Again, go for the leg again, please, Steve. Wrist, elbow, pull, and pull up, there, down. Leverage. You don't have much wiggle room there, mate, do you? You uncomfortable? Yeah, right, exactly. So he's bloody uncomfortable at this point, so I can control him here, okay? Now, try and pull the arm away, Steve. Right, just like, yeah, I'm just gonna put that there, right? Just a bit of leverage, you know? Do as you fucking told or I'm gonna snap it off. See what I'm doing? I've got one hand, I've got one knee, I've got control of him, right? And I might not let go, so right, pull over and I'll let you go. Yeah? Take control of the situation. If he tries to fight, snap it as hard as you can. If you have to get a hand under and leverage it up, fine. If you have to go this way, it's a counter leverage, right? Push down, pull up, snap, okay? It works. Say his arms are on the wheel the whole time and he's not making contact, but he's making threats and you feel under physical threat. Well, this is when you can start taking control of this area, right? So what options have you got available? A good one is the throat, right? You can get your fingers at the side of the windpipe and hook that bad boy and say, right, I'm going to tear it out if you don't stop the vehicle. If he persists, you can put pressure on the windpipe. That's uncomfortable, Steve, right? Yeah. He's not hurt, but he's uncomfortable, right? If I'm, forgive me, Steve, if I'm a little bit more violent with it, it puts him under edge right away, right? Especially if I take this as well, preparing to crash, one eye, right? A fish hook, an ear, a hair, whatever. Take control of the bastard, right? I can get into a struggle and try and choke him out, but I don't think that's a good idea, because if you put pressure on the windpipe, the person will panic, okay? Soon as your air supply is cut off, you're going to go into fight mode immediately. You won't go into beg, please leave me alone mode. They're going to fight, they're going to panic, right? Be prepared for that. If you need to be decisive and you need to stop the guy and you've decided, right, there's no way out of this, okay? I need to take him out because I'm in big trouble, okay? In terms of escalation, one thing you can do is disrupt the driving. So you can try and go for the handbrake and pull that up. Don't think that pulling a handbrake up is going to stop the car. It probably won't. A lot of the handbrakes and the handbrake cables, they may slow the progress of the car. If you're lucky, they might lock the wheels up, two of the wheels, but most likely it won't. If the car's going at speed, that probably won't be enough. Try it one day on someone else's car, please. Not mine. But give it a damn good yank, right? Get in there, yank it up. The idea is to disrupt progress, yeah? You can't reach the wheel. I mean, you can get up, you can disconnect and get up. I mean, you can try that if you want to, but again, panic, gross motor skills. You might get stuck on the belt. It won't let you through. Then you may have to take it off to fight, and that's not a great idea if the vehicle's going to crash. So, weigh up your options, okay? Disrupt the vehicle's movement, disrupt the driver, threaten him, take control. If it all kicks off, okay, go to work on his head. Yep. What you can be doing is you can be tearing mouth, you can be going for eyes, you can be going for ear, you can be going for nose, whatever. Dig, claw, rip, tear. Okay? Not many people can put up with that. But bear in mind there's going to be a sensory overload and there will be a panic factor. So the driver may panic and floor it. Okay? Hit the brakes and stop it. He might swerve and hit something. Be prepared for that. Okay? Better than death would be the argument, right? So you get the idea with the escalation, right? So let's recap a bit. Thank you, Steve. Right, let's jump out. It's very hot. Yeah. Right. Okay.
It's just a good position if you see the car is gonna crash.
You got to brace yourself. Okay, if the vehicle's going to crash, okay, if it's gonna, you don't know what the vehicle's going to do, so you just got to be prepared for impact or prepared for roll or whatever. Hence why having the seatbelt on is important, because that's what's going to save you. Yeah, the car goes, it hits at speed at the front, you're probably going to smash into the driver, right? Or find your way through the windscreen or out the other windows or whatever. Yeah, if you're in, you're locked in to a certain degree. My advice is brace yourself. Brace yourself. This way. Okay? Get tight and get ready. Alright? You're going to get thrown around. So tighten your neck up. Don't just sit there like, okay, this is going to be unpleasant. Alright? Brace yourself for it. Try and anchor on. Get your feet down. Grit your teeth. Shoulders up. Neck tight. Get ready. It's going to hurt. Okay? But if you brace yourself and you prepare yourself, you keep breathing, grit your teeth, keep everything nice and tight, you've got a good / better chance of walking away from the accident. If you're disconnected and you're loose, you're going to be thrown around like a teddy bear. All right? And if you don't get killed, you're going to get bloody hurt. So, yeah, brace yourself for that one, yeah? Cool. Any other questions on what we just discussed? Make sense? Yeah? Okay. So, quick recap. As you're approaching the vehicle, be ready with your belongings. Know where they are. Put them in a safe place, in a hidden place, all right? And don't be fumbling and disconnected and distracted as you're approaching the vehicle, right? Be clear on where your stuff is and what your goal is. You should have awareness at all times. That's the rule. The conditions, right? Do not be in condition white. Be in condition yellow at all times. Condition yellow being a heightened state of awareness. / always planning just in case. Yeah? That's not paranoia or fear, it's just simple awareness and preparation. So as you're approaching the vehicle, you should be aware of your surroundings and your escape routes right away. Let's say you got to the vehicle and you really didn't like him and you walked away and he got out of the vehicle. You need to know where to go, don't you? So be prepared in advance. Get to the vehicle and check the vehicle. Is the driver the right driver? Is the vehicle the right vehicle? Are the license plates the right license plates? If you need to take a second and take a picture of the vehicle and the driver inside the vehicle, then bloody do it. If they're a good driver, they shouldn't have a problem with it, right? As you're getting into the vehicle, recce it, check it, okay? Do they have an ID there? Yeah? Are the locks working? Are they accessible? Is the car occupied or not? In other words, is there another passenger in the car or not? Are you by yourself? Do all these checks, be ready. Yep. Getting in the car, sit behind the driver. Before you close the door, tell the driver, excuse me mate, hope you don't mind, just for my safety, I'm going to take a picture of your ID and I'm going to send it to my friends who are waiting for me at the destination. Yep. And then take the picture. If he has no problem, it won't be a problem. If he has a problem, exit the vehicle like we've already discussed, okay? But do it ready to go, yeah? 1 foot out, or at least the door open, don't put your belt on yet. Establish the safety first, yeah? Once you feel safe, again, do a recce of the inside of the vehicle. Can you access the locks? Can you work the window? Give it a little try, all right? There's no problem. I'd rather know what's wrong with the window. If I try the window and it doesn't work, I'll be asking him, why isn't your window working? And he might go, oh, that's broken, that one works. Oh, okay, I'll feel a bit better now, that one works. Or maybe none of them work. Oh, I've locked them. Or can you unlock them? I'd like some air. You know? Something like that. Make sure the locks work and they're accessible. If they're not working, they're not accessible, don't go on with the trip. Get in the car, put your belt on. Prepare yourself by getting familiar with the car. Know where the handbrake is, know where the locks are, and just be aware at all times. Once you took the picture, send it to someone. Don't just take the picture for the sake of appearance. Send it to someone. Let them know where you're going. Let them know when you're expected to arrive. Yeah? Be clear. Have your designated emergency person ready. Have emergency services number ready, just in case you need to. And also a good tip is, click your map on and make sure that the person is following the route that your map is telling you. Yeah? Google Maps is a beautiful tool. They may deviate a little bit, but if the road says go straight and the bastard's just U-turned, then there's your red flag. You understand? Right. Then from there it goes on to the the interaction and the de-escalation, as we already know. Don't let them break the fence. Physical, touching you. You tell them to stop it, they keep going. That's breaking the fence. The manner which they're talking to you. Oh, I like you. Do you think maybe we could do something like? No, I'm really not interested. I have a boyfriend. I have a girlfriend. Lie, it doesn't fucking matter. Just do what you have to do to keep yourself safe. Who cares, right? No, I'm not interested, thank you very much. Oh, please, but listen, I don't want to have this conversation. Stop now, please, or I'm going to get out the vehicle. Who cares? Offend the bastard a little bit. It doesn't matter. Keep yourself safe. Be polite, be assertive, yeah? If it escalates, the person keeps touching, take decisive action. Stop the fucking car now, right now. And there's no negotiation. Doesn't matter what he says or she says, don't engage with that conversation. You control the conversation. Stop, get out. Stop, get out. Stop the car, stop the car, stop the car. Get the idea? If he's not getting the idea, think about how to escape. Open the door. Help me. I'm being kidnapped. Ah, make noise, scream, bring attention to yourself. If you can't open the door, open the window, same thing. If you need to break the window, if you can crack it a little bit, if it doesn't open all the way, you can probably rag it. If it doesn't open at all, you can have a belt buckle, make sure you've got enough slack, and go to work. Bang, as hard as you can. Better option is the headrest. Grab it, base yourself, go to work. Like we said, you can use it as a tool against the driver as well, right? And then from there we know the rest. If he's grabbing, you can grab the arm, you can grab the head, you can disrupt his driving, the handbrake, etc. Last point, when you get out the vehicle, don't fuck around, get out the vehicle. Sorry, no, get the fuck out the vehicle, right? Get out and escape. Don't, listen you fucking bastard, don't bother. All right, you don't know if they're carrying a weapon. You don't know if they're compelled to chase after you and fight you or whatever it takes. You know, you don't want that situation. Get out, exit, call the police. Okay, you should have their ID, you should have their license plate, you should have the vehicle number, everything, if you've prepared yourself. Therefore, you can follow up and have this bastard followed and prosecuted. Hopefully. Get the idea? Cool. Excellent. Nice one. Anything that you want to ask, or yeah?
Just wondering, when you're exiting the vehicle,
Yeah.
how do you evaluate whether the place you're getting out is safer than being inside?
Well, good question. You may not have that luxury, unfortunately. I mean, if the person, you want to try to stop it before it escalates too high, right? Because it might get to the point where they deem it worthy to just floor it and make your escape really difficult, in which case you may have to just hit the ground and roll, which actually you should do. If the vehicle is moving, try to get your feet and roll. Keep your neck tucked, everything covered, and try and roll out of the fall. Don't jump expecting you're going to land. The ground is moving, okay? You'll go smack, right? So prepare yourself to go down and roll along the ground. It's going to bloody hurt, but if you roll, you've got more chance of surviving, you'll be okay. So try and answer your question. Again, you may not have that luxury. You just got to get the hell out of the vehicle, you know? Right now, your priority is the threat that's facing you, yeah? That trumps the potential of danger outside the vehicle at this point. Unless by chance you've just got a creepy driver and you happen to be driving through a war zone with landmines around the car. Okay, then maybe take your chances with the driver. See what I'm saying? But otherwise, just get out. Just get out the best you can. You'll often find that if you're being messed with a driver and you get out, even in rough areas, people tend to be helpful, you know? Even in like, you know, what the fuck is going on here? Like, interested, you know? So even if they're not helping, if they're interested, that bodes well for you, you know? Because you're bringing attention to the situation. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Anything else you guys want to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're carrying weapons, would you use the weapons, or would you leave it re-escalated? You've got to the situation.
For
say
me,
there's knives on. Yeah, I carry a knife. So
I carry a knife.
I'd
I mean,
use-
I would.
Yeah.
I would. What I would probably do is I would turn the blade to the blunt end and put that to his throat, okay? Or maybe put the sharp end and push it against him a little bit. I don't want to accidentally cut the guy's throat, right? So be aware of that, all right? You don't want to be like, you know, sawing at his neck or something, yeah? But maybe a bit of pressure and the warning of, I mean, you can get really hard pressure on that and you won't know is it the sharp end or not. So you can, again, control a hand, take it and say, right, I'm going to cut and you're going to die. Let me go, okay? Or whatever you've got. I mean, even if you've got a cell phone, if you want to use that as a bastard hammer, then use it. You know, if you need to like grab their hair and smack the back of their head with something, or that, yeah, they're not bad tools. They break windows, they break heads, right? But you can be creative. Yeah, a key, a pressure point kind of thing. I don't agree in pressure points, but it hurts. If you put it and ram it into his ear really bloody hard and say, right, I'm going to take your brain out, he's going to think twice. Put it onto one of his eyes and put pressure there. You see? Be kind of creative. Same thing with the pen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, use the tools around you, but be willing to use them. But again, be cautious because you don't want to go straight in with the weapon because you have to think of potential lawsuits as well, unfortunately. Even though you may be in the right, if by chance you use what could be deemed as excessive force, like I've got a knife, why the hell are you carrying a knife around? Well, I don't have any good excuse for that, right? It's a box cutter, but it's also, I'll admit, it's a self-defense tool. All right, I can hammer with it, I can cut with it. Cut seat belts, cut ropes, cut eyeballs, whatever. So if you're willing to use the weapon, be prepared for the consequences. But hey, you may have to. You may have to. Yeah. Cool. All right, any other questions, guys? No? All good? Okay. So I think we're good, mate. Thank you very much for filming, Chris. Appreciate it.
Hope the voice